Hey, in this video, I'm gonna help you understand if you're a sales douchebag or if the sales guys on your team are D-bags, because what I've seen now in this space after, being in this like high ticket remote closing space since, 2012 is when I started my first company. I was Mosey's first closer, and I've built several seven-figure companies and worked with a lot of closers, hired closers, etc. So I've seen it all. I've seen a lot.
That's because you're a douchebag.
And unfortunately, I feel like this space has created a lot of sales D-bags, and it sucks because like sales should be a serving type of role, and it just kind of it makes me upset when I see coaches, gurus, or just salespeople out there, and it's because of social media, and it's because of self-centeredness and wanting to make money and do the big life. It's like this culture now that creates salespeople who are just not operating in their true identity or actually helping people. And so what I want to cover is 5 ways to know if you're being a sales douchebag, or if you're a business owner and you have sales guys on your team, how to know if you have some D-bags on the team, so we can have a conversation, tell them, hey, stop being a D-bag. This is how I want you to operate in terms of character and how I want you to show up. This is our culture. And if they can't get with the program, then have them get out of there. The first one, and there's a balance here, which I understand, but it's to know if you're a D-bag is when you're so focused on the commissions much more than serving or helping, clients. And that's like, well, that's a given, everyone I sell, it's because I can help them. But let me just push on that for a second. Because if all you're ever talking about is the commission that you earned, and all that you're thinking about is how many more sales you need to make the commission you want to make, and that is what fills your thoughts constantly, and you're thinking about the money you want to make because of what you want to spend it on, that is being focused on the commission more than helping people, versus if you're thinking about the types of results and outcomes that people you've sold in the past month, 90 days, what they're experiencing, and the product or service that your company is offering and how it's innovating and helping people in that program or in that service, and you're just super fixated on like the service and what it does, and like how it drives more income for people, how it saves time for people, how it makes people feel less stressed and feel better. If you're always thinking about those things, that means you're actually more focused on and caring about serving clients. So, just check yourself a little bit. Like if your thought life is mostly around the commission and the money and not around the clients and what's best for them and putting them in the best position, then check yourself, change, right? Because it's making you a D-bag, and it's making you not really sell with authenticity. It is, whether you're doing it intentionally or not, it's making you manipulative in sales, and that actually does hurt your sales performance long term, but also it kind of makes you feel crappy, right? And that doesn't feel good. Number 2 is you're basically judging leads based on how financially qualified they are. I understand that there's obviously financial qualification when it comes to like B2B and making sure that there's, the revenue size or the business size is there to meet the budget of the solution that you sell. Or if a person needs to invest, $20,000, and it's hard to talk with someone who only makes $40,000 a year. I get that. But when you start, looking at leads and looking at their qualifiers, or just you're saying things like, I don't want to talk to brokies, right? I hear that phrase, like, I don't want to talk to brokies. And it's like, you might be a brokey. Like we're all trying to get ahead in life, and we're all trying to make money and provide for our families. So you want to be careful that you're not judging people, because I have sold a lot of people who didn't have a lot of money, but I did believe enrolling in the service of the program would put them in a better position. I'm not going to guarantee anything to anybody, right? Michael Jordan's the best basketball player on the planet. He's probably the most equipped to teach someone how to be really good at basketball. But even he can't promise someone off the street, be like, hey, go through my basketball program and I'll help you make the NBA. It's like, that's ridiculous, right? But would someone who gets training and goes through a program with Michael Jordan be in a better position and have better skills in basketball? Absolutely. So I've enrolled people who I thought like this actually put them in a better spot, and I felt good about that. And they were willing to get creative and resourceful in the financing to make that solution happen, right? But like, just because they maybe didn't look good on the lead form, or they answered a couple of questions that made them look like they're financially DQ'd, if you're like judging people and being like, I can't talk to brokies, hey, if you're not willing to invest, you have a bad mindset. It's like, come on, it's ridiculous. They don't even know what it is that you guys do yet. They might not logistically be in a position that where like they'd want to take on what they need to take on in order to get the solution, and that's okay. People are allowed to make their own freaking decisions, right? So that would be number 2, is like judging, prospects and people that are just financially disqualified and being like, I can't talk to those people. They don't have money. They don't have the right mindset, blah, blah, blah. You got to get that thought life out of you, because that does turn you into a douchebag. Number 3, which I think is funny, is salespeople who won't outbound. So if you refuse to outbound and call leads, you are a D-bag. Like, you need to be willing to call and dial. Even as owning the business and having, sales teams, with, 24 people under me, I still might be calling the leads myself, because I want to know what these people sound like. I want to know what the prospects are needing. I want to know what the pain points are. Outbounding is a good thing. And in fact, some of the best closers that I've helped place or that I know or who are on our teams that we hired, they did a lot of outbound. And so if you're not willing to outbound because you went through some, closing university or to some sales guru coach, and it's like, hey, you're a closer, bro, and you need to fight for what you're worth. And so you need to make sure setters and those lowly salespeople, they qualify and book appointments for you, and they make sure people show up. You're just there to, close deals and collect the cash. That's such a D-bag mentality. So also, please don't do that. You should be outbound. The 4th way to know if you're a D-bag salesperson is when your numbers or your performance goes down, you blame anything and everything besides yourself. And think about this. When you've had bad performance, was the first thought you had these leads are bad? Was that your first thought? Oh, the leads are just worse. Or, oh, it's the economy, Biden got into office or Trump got into office or whoever it was, right? And it's I need to get into a different offer and space because this space has been wrecked by the economy. Or you see a couple of reviews that come in from the team of clients who joined the program, and there's a couple of bad reviews or something. And you're like, oh, see, the program doesn't even work. People hate it. I can't sell this. I'm selling snake oil. It's chill, calm down. The first thing you should be taking responsibility is yourself, okay? If your numbers go down, look at yourself. Are you in a good state? Are you sleeping well? Are you taking care of your health? Are you in stress, right? Do you have peace? Are you following the process? Have you started being a little bit more commission breath and not, thinking about the prospect? Have you lost conviction and buy-in on the program or on the service? Look at yourself first. If your first thought or the blame game and it's it's the leads, it's the funnel, it's the this, it's the that,
blah, blah, blah,
that just makes you sound like a D-bag, and it's not helpful for anybody, right? And also giving feedback is one thing, or asking questions is one thing. Asking your supervisor, asking the marketing department, hey, is there anything we're doing different with the funnel? Hey, how are we qualifying leads right now? Hey, did we change anything? That's all fine, right? Ask questions, be curious. That's what salespeople do. But if it's blame and then you're not gonna look at yourself, because the reality is you can only change what you have control over. And if you're not in control of the media buying in the funnel, guess what? You can whine all you want, but it's not gonna change. So you're gonna have to change and figure out maybe a new process or a new way to handle leads, or maybe new pieces of content that you put in between your first call and your second call so that you can make more sales and you can help more people. So that would be really important to do. The last way to know if you're a D-bag salesperson is the second you start making somewhat decent amount of money. Let's say you start making 10K a month, 15K a month, 20K a month. And then you buy Gucci shoes, you buy an Omega watch, you buy, some, fancy jacket or whatever. Come on. Those things, we only do those things because we're trying to impress other people. Now, I totally appreciate nice things, and I do have nice things, and yes, they're fun to have, but you need to check that you're not doing it because you're now trying to impress the other sales guys or other people in your life, and hey, see, I'm actually I'm an amazing salesperson because, I got my Louis Vuitton sneakers on. When you start making money, be smart, because sales, in my experience, whether it was in my career or with salespeople working for us and all the different sales teams that we've helped consult or manage, it's always up and down. So don't be a big baller the second you start making money. What I always tried to do is what was my average income over a 6-month period, right? Because I might have some 30, 35K months, and then maybe I have 15, 18K months. Well, what was the average in the 6 months? And then I need to be budgeting and spending based on that. But also, If you're single, you don't have a wife, you don't have kids, don't spend that money. Like you're gonna want that money to set yourself up for your life and to provide and all that kind of stuff. Look, don't be a D-bag and spend all your money and blow it on, stupid crap the second that you start making money, because guess what? Next month you might make half of what you made. And now you're gonna regret having, spent, $2,000 on, some bottle service that you went to, right? It's ridiculous. This is my little rant. Obviously I want people in sales to like do it with authenticity, with integrity. Yes, there's tactics and there's ways, like there's a playbook to be a good salesperson, but let's not be D-bags. And if you are one, it's okay. I've been one myself, just change, right? And then if you have sales guys who are acting this way and they're D-bags, have the conversation with them, right? Don't call them a D-bag, but call them up. Like tell them, hey, they need to be, like this is not like you. Like I expected different from you, right? Call them up, and if they're not gonna get the program, kick them out, because we need to make sales teams good. We want salespeople to be great. Hopefully this video was helpful.